I was called around 8 o'clock about a patient that needed to have emergency heart surgery. I drive from my home in St. Louis to Memorial Hospital, and I usually go through East St. Louis. So I was going through East St. Louis at about 8:30. I hit a pothole, and my right front tire had a blowout. I was driving on the rim. I was not too far, maybe a quarter of a mile or so from a gas station on the corner of Bond and 26th Street. And so I pulled into the gas station, and there were a number of people standing there, and one could see that I had a flat tire and motioned to me to come over where the air was. So I didn't think it would work, but we tried to put air in the tire, and it wasn't going to hold. I was feeling fairly desperate, the need to be at the hospital. I knew they were moving the patient to the operating room. So I called one of our assistants to see if he could come and pick me up. Of course, he said he would. And one of the people standing there, I think, overheard the conversation and asked me what was happening. And I said I was a heart surgeon, that I had an emergency at the Memorial Hospital. And he said, "Doc, I'll drive you." I said, Are you sure? And he said, "Yes, of course I am." So he introduced himself as Mike Austin. He told me, he said, "Well, the Lord put me in this situation to do this." And I said, "Well, it seems to me that must be the case." I offered him some money at the end when he dropped me off, and he refused to take it. Of course, we finished the operation. It was probably about 11:30. The assistant, Keith, took me back to the car, which now had a flat tire in East St. Louis. We were trying to find a place on the frame to jack up the car, and we were having a little difficulty. And then somebody else came out from the gas station and saw what we were trying to do, and he said, "Let me help you." And so he looked at the little car jack that we had, went back to the gas station and came back with a floor jack. And he said, "This will work better." So he took over, and he jacked up the front tire, took the lug nuts off along with Keith, put on the spare tire, tightened the lug nuts. After he did that, I tried to give him some money, and he said, "Doc, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I just want to thank you." And he said, "No." He said, I want to do this. In fact, I have to do this.
Because you have to love to the other what you love to yourself and to your family. And by my culture, by grow up, by I got raised, by religion, you have to help the other. You have to help the other and love him.
Then he invited us into the gas station. He said, no, you have to come in and have a drink. So he offered us a drink and whatever we wanted. We took one, and he said, "How about a snack?" I said, "No." And then we exchanged phone numbers. He offered anytime we needed anything, please stop by. I got home, I talked to my wife. I said it's the story of the Good Samaritan in 2017. And you find these unexpected kindnesses that really help you feel better about everything that goes on in your life.